everyone, welcome back to another fun week 2 holiday. So as you guys know, every year I kind of do these like little embellishment albums, and because we like to tuck in little surprises during the holiday. Well, I am making an album today, and this is so easy, and it's just a fun little method I came up with to make this so much easier. I don't know why I didn't think to do this before, but instead of making individual pockets, this is gonna really help you guys make quicker embellishment albums and things like that. So I didn't make any fancy cover because, again, I want this to be quick for those who start early, and most of it is just really fun detail, but this is going to take us just like 5 minutes to create the album. And then I'll just kind of go through all the cute little details that I did, and you'll see how I created it. All right, so let's start with the cover. Of course, you have the option to make your own fun binding. This is really stuffed, so it's kind of, bulky here. But I'm going to grab a scoreboard. And the cover, so we're going to do the cover, okay? Your cover piece is going to be 4 by 8 inches. All right, and it doesn't really matter what side because we can always flip it later on, but at the 8-inch score, we're going to score it at 3.5 and 4.5. Now this is also depending how much you want to stuff yours. Like I said, 3.5 and 4.5. And you can take this album and really make it larger to fit your needs, or even smaller if you want to do that. So I do like hard covers, but I just kind of want to make this simple because I feel like a lot of my followers come here for simple. So I'm going to keep the busy part outside, and I'm going to go ahead and use this for the inside because my papers are kind of busy. So for the papers, we're going to need 2 7 by 7s. All right. So this is great for, I guess, 8 by 8 paper pads because the cover is 4 by 8. All right, so once you've picked out 2, we're going to do the same exact measurement. I didn't even think I usually do one prior, but it doesn't matter which side. I guess it's depending on your print, but just know that I'll show you when we're doing it. So the 7 by 7, what we're going to do is we're going to score it at 1/2 inch and 3 3/4 inch. So at 1/2 inch and 3 3/4. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and turn it, and we're going to score it at 3.5 inches, which is just in the middle. All right, so I've done that. Now let me do my other one really quick too, since I forgot to actually do that. So again, I'm just doing 1/2 inch, 3 3/4, flipping it, and doing 3.5 inches again. All right, so we've got 2 of those, and this paper is really busy, so I'm gonna make sure I use this one. So let's go back to our first one. Now, this is, when you see what I'm doing, you'll be like, oh, okay. So we're just gonna fold that 1/2 inch score, and then we're gonna fold it right here. So this is our first score that we made at the 1/2 inch and 3 3/4 inch. And go ahead and fold that middle score before we do this, but open it back up and just kind of glue that down. It'll be nice when I actually unclog the glue before we start recording. So here we go. And glue that on. And just let it dry for a minute. And then, ta-da! It's literally 2 pockets. Do you guys know how, and I'm just gonna thumb notch this with a 1 inch, but I swear, I just like every year I make these tiny individual pockets and keep going. I'm like, why would I do that when I can just make these simple pockets and it can be easy for everyone? Because once the pocket is behind it, you can't really see it. So actually, I need my regular double-sided tape, which is in my drawer where I'm filming. So 1 second, sorry, it's a little shaky. So I'm just gonna use regular double-sided tape for this. And I'm going to go ahead, actually before I do that, so hold on. You can decide which side you want this on. I'm gonna put this on this side, so before you glue this, if you want it to have the ribbon or anything, or if you want to leave it as like an interactive thing, you don't even have to seal this, because if you close your book or bind it, you know, this isn't a big deal and you could have a little surprise. So, but before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and tie my ribbon on because I thought it looked a little fancy and really makes the album stand out a bit. So this I ordered online, but I did sell this in my shop. My shop is not active since I moved, so maybe I'll do that today. The mail here is really weird. We have like a community mailbox center, and I don't really like that, but that's kind of why I'm afraid to do the mail, like my Etsy shop again, but maybe I just will. All right. You guys know I'm not like the best at tying this, so it's not that pretty, but it will do for now. Okay, and I'm just going to cut it, if I can find my scissor. This is not the scissor that I choose for this, but it'll work. I would definitely use a fabric scissor. Okay, so after you do your little bow, then you can go ahead and do this part. Sorry, I'm trying not to take it off. All right, so there's our first pocket. So you can guess what's gonna happen on the other side. I'm going to tape this on because because my cover is thin, I don't want the cover to be leaky and go through the cover. That's the one thing if you're doing it thin. But I advise you to be very careful when you do this part because you don't want it to go crooked. And I go a little lower than higher in case you have any fun things you want to tuck on the top. All right, so I mean, seriously, you guys, how simple is that? So now I'm just gonna do my other pocket. And again, remember that's the 1/2 inch side. And I don't know which side to do. Let me see, hold on, let me look at my picture first. I think I will do the pink side. And hold on, let me fold this because you don't want it to be crinkly looking when you glue it. Ask me how I know. Okay, and just let that dry for a minute. And fold it. And I don't have a bow on the other side. If you want to add a bow, you can. So I'm just going to go ahead and really just, goodness, this is just flying everywhere. I'm going to go ahead and tape that on. And I can see this kind of flying, ungluing on me, so. And you don't really need much. I like mine a little dainty, but if you want to put it on stronger, go ahead. Okay, and there's our second pocket. And I'm going to go ahead and add tape on the back to pop on my album. And try to make it even with the other side. And there you go. And I made it so you have a little bit of wiggle room this here. If you want it to be thicker, make the album just a little larger. And then really the rest is just a bunch of fun detail. So what I did here is this is an older die. It's just a Laura Ballora, and I wanted it to be dainty again. And I'm going to just stick that in here. Did I use glue or anything? No. And some of you have mentioned, like, well, not some. One specific person mentioned, but there was a couple of likes on it, that some of my albums seem a little, I can't remember the name. Basically, not too dainty, like, and you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. You can just, and this can obviously be more solid, but this is just because I'm doing a tutorial, and you can make this more solid. Like I could obviously glue this on and it would be great, but I'm just gonna leave it because I'm doing this and I just want to leave it. All right. So, and I get that. Like if you're mailing this, obviously you want this to be solid. So I'm going to use double-sided foam tape now. And how cute. Oh my goodness, you guys, this collection is so cute. And then, let me see what else I got. So I have these little like cards, and this is smaller than 3x4. I cut them down a little bit. Just know that because I had cut these out. So I just take one of these, and I used my 1-inch punch again to cut these out of glitter cardstock. And I'm just going to put this pretty much like on the bottom. This album is a lot of fun. I think you guys are going to love this one. I say that about all of them, but I mean it with this one. So I just kind of place it like, you know, right here or something. And then, or you can actually eyeball it. That would be smarter. See, so I put it too high. So I didn't want to cover the lettering, but didn't think that far. And then I took one of my Puffy stickers. And the thing with this is Puffy stickers are fantastic on paper, but on glitter cardstock, no. This will not stick. It will fall off. So if you want to stick a Puffy sticker, you definitely want double-sided tape, like regular double-sided tape on there. So that's how I get to stick. I don't want you guys being like, why is her sticking and mine's not? It's because I have extra adhesive on it. So now that I did that, you just put that, and I think that's a really important detail. So it helps the album kind of really start, you know, coming to life a bit. And in here, I have this little bow hanging, but really it's a little tag inside. So you can like stick a little tag here and your bow, and it will just like hang like that. And then again, and this was just a fun detail I did. I basically did, and I ripped that, but I basically changed up where my dot is, or not my dot, my circle, and just add some twine and put some glitter on there. So that's just makes it a little bit more special. And again, I put it this way here so that you can see the layers as they're going. And you can see it's already really layering up. And here's more fun, which I just took, you know, one of these that came out of the packet and just clipped that on. And I want to show you this fun little detail that I did. I took vellum, again, with my 1-inch circle, and just ran it through my dye machine, or not dye machine, my sewing machine. And then this is the time you'd want to add some really cute little stickers or whatever you have. I'm just going to put one here, and maybe this one. Let's see. Sure. And then you can just like stick it on there, and I just think that's so pretty. And I do have a little tag on my other page, so let me add this under it. Actually, I'm going to do this there, and then I have a sticker. I have to say, my favorite part of this is this cute little guy right here, and I saved him for this tutorial. So he can just like hang out. And in here, again, I did another little tag with this hanging. So you can just take your tag and like hang it inside of your little pocket right there. And then I like just, this is just, I love this piece because it kind of sticks out on the top, almost like a divider. And I feel like it adds more layer to it. And for here, I added a little, so right in between here, as I was making this, I wanted it to be a little bit more layered. So I just took a die and some foam tape, and I kind of just tucked it in right behind this pocket. So it looks like there's more layers than there is, but there really isn't, if that makes sense. And the back, I just added a little die on the top, which I can do that with you guys. So if I'm just taking that, I'm adding again foam tape and just sticking it on the top basically. And I added just the twine and this, as you can see, but just to let it look a little bit different, you can see how it looks. So it's already, voila, it looks so flat, but do you see like how crazy the difference is when you start to layer? Like you saw how flat and boring it was when we first put it together, and it's so easy to really make this come to life. So that's the inside, and you can see how much fun, like seriously, who doesn't want to open and be like, there's just so much fun detail they can go through that, including with whatever you put inside. So I did not have, obviously, all of the same dies, because you guys know I only usually buy one. So what I did was I ran 2 of my circle dies and kind of just put it in there. And I'm thinking I'm going to use the foam tape and just put it on. This is for my hip kit one, by the way. It's my little dotted. So I'm just going to use foam tape on these 2 sides. Hopefully you can't see it. You may or may not. We'll see. So just to substitute, let's see. And then I was thinking maybe to put a die in the front over it or inside of it. Like this one. I think that would work. Sure, we'll try that one. And then to decorate, and I love all the little like things, you know, that came with this year. They just really make it so easy for these fun little details. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that there. And maybe a flower. I don't know if this is gonna be too big. No, I think that works. Can we fit one more? Let's try. I feel like I'm going to regret it, but oh, I like the little acorn because it's kind of woodsy. Maybe I can stick a little acorn here. I'm regretting it. Okay, I'm just going to leave it. I knew I was going to do that. I don't even know why I did it. So here it is. This is so simple. And honestly, yeah, it has that thin cover, but this will be fine in the mail, you guys. We don't have to, oop, what fell? Oh, we don't have to really always make it hardcover binding, but is it beautiful? Absolutely. And if you want to take the time to do it with this method, you could take a 12 by 12 paper, do the same thing I did just now with just a little bit different measurement, and this can be a huge album. And you can also stick these on top of each other and layer it. So it's a really fun embellishment album, like put this on top of here and just make it so there's more slots. All right, guys, I am so in love with this album, and I hope you guys love it too, and I hope you guys have fun making this. I'll be back for more.